Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of IBFP's Boxing News, and we're just going to start breaking it down. And we're going to start with Mikey Garcia stating that he'd be open to facing Vasily Lomachenko and even possibly going down to 135 pounds. This is a direct quote from Mikey Garcia. I can't do 135 in my first attempt back. You know, I put on enough weight and muscle being at 47 that I think it would be difficult for me to have to come down to lightweight. But if I do come down to 41st, then make that decision to come down to 35, that's a possibility. But for my immediate future, I won't be able to do 35, maybe 141st, then 35. And this is all according to BoxingScene.com. Now that makes a lot of sense. You know, Mikey Garcia realizes the biggest fight between that he can have right now is him and Vasily Lomachenko. Vasily Lomachenko's biggest fight that he can have is Mikey Garcia. It doesn't make sense for Mikey Garcia and Vasily Lomachenko to go to 140, you know, looking at this point, because all the belts wouldn't be on the line. So all the prestige and the glory of the fight wouldn't be the same if the belts weren't on the line. This is these two guys' biggest payday. This is these two guys' biggest legacy fight, and this will define these guys' career. So they need each other in this sense. So the fact that Mikey Garcia is opening up to the possibility, maybe taking an interim fight first, but opening up to the possibility of returning to 35 to face Vasily Lomachenko makes all the sense in the world. But let's just keep it going. In other news, according to BoxingScene.com, you know, Brandon Adams has, you know, publicly stated that he believed he hurt Jermall Charlo. So let's just break into his direct quote. Brandon Adams states, "I know I hurt him. He knows I did. It's up to him to be honest. I'll be honest and say when he hit me with some shots, he got me. But, you know, I got him back doing what I was supposed to do. I didn't shy away from nothing, so it's up to him to be honest about that. I can't tell you what he feels, but I know I hurt him. I seen sometimes when I hit him, he grabbed me. It's the sport of boxing. It is what it is." And you know what? I have to give some credence to Brandon Adams', you know, statement that he hurt Jermall Charlo. I'm not saying that he seriously hurt Jermall to the point where Jermall was going to get stopped or anything like that, but I did see Jermall hesitant. See, you know, on a lot of shots where Jermall may have had, you know, Brandon Adams move back or step back, you say, oh man, that was a good shot. What kept Jermall from rushing in to try to finish him? It was what he was feeling coming back in return. And you have to realize that Brandon Adams is not a 160-pound fighter. This guy's a 154-pound fighter, and who put on a lot of weight for this fight to be able to absorb Charlo's shots. So that made a lot of sense. So the fact that Brandon Adams came out and stated that he hurt Charlo, that's totally believable. Charlo was not rushing in, and Brandon Adams hit Charlo square on the chins multiple times in that fight. So believe it or not, I think this is fact. But let's just keep it going. Carlos Takam, Oleksandr Usyk. Carlos Takam basically states that, you know, he's wishing Usyk a speedy recovery, but believes he can knock him out. So let's just dig into his particular quotes, and let's just see what he has to say. And he basically states, maybe because he hasn't fought in the weight division, we're all confused. I wish that he recovers well because I am waiting for him for that match, and I know I'm going to win it. I know I'm going to knock him out. He's a very fast guy because he's not from the division. He's a good boxer, and I respect that, but he's never had a punch from a heavyweight. That's what I say. Usyk, I'm waiting for you in September. Now, I think that'll be a fantastic fight. Carlos Takam, Oleksandr Usyk. I think that'll be an excellent fight. You have to understand that Usyk has a lot of the skill sets of Vasily Lomachenko, but at a higher weight class. This guy had dominated the cruiserweight division, moving up the heavyweight division. And my concerns for Usyk is, I think he could be a very good heavyweight, a special heavyweight. My only concern from Usyk is, can he take those shots? I know he has the skills to compete. I know he has the footwork. I know he has the speed. But does he have the chin? Is he able to absorb those shots? And will his shots be effective at heavyweight to keep these guys off of him? Because if he can't take a shot, and if his power isn't translating to the heavyweight division to hurt these guys enough to keep them off of him, then Usyk stands no chance. I think Usyk will be at the very least a decent heavyweight. I think he can beat guys in heavyweight. I think he can win fights in heavyweight, and I think he can beat Carlos Takam. But at the same time, I think Carlos Takam will be a tough challenge for Usyk, because Carlos Takam is a very rugged opponent. He gave Anthony Joshua a very rugged fight before he was stopped. So I don't think Carlos Takam is a light touch in heavyweight. He's a very quality and solid opponent, and he's a proper gauge as to see where exactly Oleksandr Usyk is. If Usyk goes in against a guy like Takam and just blows him out of the water, that says a lot about Usyk's movement into the heavyweight division. But if Usyk goes against Takam, wins the fight but struggles mightily, then it also tells you he's not as far along as many people think. A lot remains to be seen. But once again, Unbiased as always, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.